Rita for Beyond Focus TV. I have a very special guest in the building with me tonight, Dr. Reverend Terry Lee. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered.
Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. I'm Rita Salke, and right now I have in the studio with me Dr. Reverend Terry Lee. Yes. How are you?
I am wonderfully blessed and highly favored indeed.
Great. So you are the founder of the White House Prayer.
Yes, indeed.
In its 19th year. Now, for people who may not know of you, who is Dr. Reverend Terry Lee?
Well, Reverend Terry Lee is right here, originally from Jamaica, not Jamaica, New York. You know, Jamaica,
the
Jamaica.
Real Jamaica.
Yeah, man, the real Jamaica. Certainly as an immigrant here in the United States of America, been here over 2 decades, and certainly been in the community. Many people who have seen the Reverend out there preaching on the train, they have seen the Reverend Terry Lee with the mobile church, the only mobile church in the tri-state area. We have done a lot of things with the police. We hold a big unity walk. This year actually is going to be the 20th anniversary for the unity walk to promote the unity with the police and the community. And that was started also because of the Adlowemer incident in the 7-0 precinct. So this year we are celebrating that 20th anniversary. Now, in the community also, we have done several immigration workshops, you know, community outreach, food program, and we have been out there in the community, you know, as immigrants responding to crisis and so forth. And certainly the White House Prayer, it is something that the Lord has given unto me 19 years ago, you know, to pray for the president. And that's why we're here also tonight to talk about that.
So tell me a little bit more about your background growing up in Jamaica. Did you come from a strict Christian home? You go to Sunday school every Sunday? Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Well, you know, back in Jamaica, I used to do a little ragamuffin. What's a ragamuffin? You know, trouble. I used to give trouble in the neighborhood. Never want to listen, you know, like kids who always just don't want to listen sometimes, want to be a little rebellious out there into the community. And I tried a little of that, but then my mother is a praying mother, and she prayed for me. And certainly I was out there, you know, drink, smoke, party, you know, the whole 9 yard, and I do all of those things, and then the Lord, you know, got a hold on my life, and that's how it's all changed, started.
You gonna make me want to go to church? Well, I do go to church, but you want me to go to church tonight? So,
oh man, yeah, let's go.
So tell me a little bit more about your inspiration behind the White House Prayer and what motivated you to start this whole movement.
Well, the White House Prayer, it was into a vision in 1998. It was in the month of November. And in the dream, it was like a big explosion, like a fireball, and like a building explode with fire, and people were running and screaming. And I heard a voice said in the dream, "Pray for the president." That's it. So I wake up in the morning and begin to tell my friends what the dream, and I heard a voice said, "Pray for the president." And I begin to tell them, and some of them were saying that I shouldn't do it, because I don't have any green card, and I'm undocumented, and I'm not supposed to write no letter to the president. And one of the time, I was a little, fearful in doing that. And then I pray, and this thing keep on playing like a music in my spirit, pray for the president. And then I take a bold step, and I wrote a letter to Bill Clinton, and tell him, I see in the dream, and I heard the voice of the Lord said, "Pray for the president." And I thought I would have go in the White House to pray for the president. But I don't know if they're doing a background check and check my immigration stuff.
You didn't want to get caught.
So they didn't allow me to come in the White House, but they give me the permission to go in front of the White House. And that's how it started. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
So what was that moment like when you were able to step, not inside the White House itself, but just by the lawn and in the surroundings? What was that feeling like when you were doing kind of God's mission and God's work for him?
Yeah, it was, like a sense of joy. I look at it as a higher calling. I look at it as something that we're doing behind the pulpit, and not only just, preaching right here locally, in Flatbush and in the Utica Church, but seeing the privilege that we have to go, in front of the White House and to hold a prayer meeting to pray for the president. It was a source of strength spiritually for me and also those who came along with me. And we got about 48 to 50 people who come along in the first year.
So what do you feel has been the greatest accomplishment so far? Because I know it's 19 years, it's been a long time. What was the moment that you felt that, wow, I'm really making a difference?
Well, over the years, since with President Bill Clinton, we do 2 years, and that was 98, 99, and of course 2000 we have President Bush take over, and from President Bush we do 8 years with President Bush, and then we do another 8 years with President Barack Obama, so that land us into 18 years. So and now here we are in the 19 years. Now what I've encountered, and see, one of the greatest accomplishment with that is to see 2014, the White House, they gave us an opportunity to come and to do a presentation inside of the White House. And because of this prayer, we have get the opportunity to go in the White House several times at several different occasions, and even where we connect with the White House Center for Faith Base, and we have both Democrats and we have Republicans who come on board, personnel that works, for the president. So we have seen, that level of growth, with the whole, White House prayer initiative over the years.
I know there's a lot of stigmatism around saying the word God, especially in the prayers in our schools, in our communities. Did you ever feel like you had to hold back from kind of speaking the truth when you were going and praying to these people?
Yes, it's always been a challenge, because again, when you're going up against evil, and evil are spirits, and you're going up against evil, whether it's in the law enforcement, whether it's evil forces, spirits in the government sector, whether it's just evil spirits that are out there roaming through the community, there's always fight back, and retaliation. But again, through the spirit of consistency and perseverance, even on the train when I preach, I've been attacked on the train, I've been jumped, spit on, I've been slapped in my face on the train. One time I used to get a couple of AC summonses, from the police because I didn't know that I was supposed to get this permit, because I didn't. Yeah, to preach on the street, and then it is out of preaching on the street, and I get to encounter with police and community relation, and so forth. So, but we have built, bridges, and we have mend fences, where we have seen, people in the community have a high level of respect for what we do, including the police department, and even the gangsters in the community, they have a big level of respect for the Rev.
So they call you up and they explain to you everything that's been going
on. Yeah. The shatter in the community, the shatter them, whether I'm in the 30s, the 20s, the 50s, the 90s, wherever, whether I'm in Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, wherever, these kids, they respect the Rev. Yeah.
We'll be right back, Beyond Focus TV, with the lovely Reverend Terry Lee. Beyond Focus TV. I'm Marita Salke, and we have the lovely Reverend Terry Lee. We have learned a lot about the White House prayer, and we're going to learn a little bit more. So,
Yes.
you were talking about, you know, you get a lot of respect from the community and the gangsters and everybody else that's been going through a lot of the things. How do you balance your work life and your family life? Because I know it's hard. You know, you're dealing with people in the community, then you have to deal with your family. So how do you balance that?
Well, it is a challenge and a sacrifice that I have made in terms of, giving up a job, a 9 to 5 job, just to do the level of ministry and outreach that I do out there in the community. So sometimes, it's a real challenge, not having an income and a paycheck coming in on Fridays.
Yeah. Not that direct deposit no more.
Right? So in that era of the ministry, it become real challenge. But there are a few people out there who supported the work, financially, and certainly there are ways that people who believe in what we are doing can continue to support. Not only just to support the ministry, but help us help others. Because when we give food to the needy, the people that give us the food, they don't just give it to us for us, but they give it to us so we can give to others. So if somebody have some money out there and they want it to get to the people, just like we give the food, we will give the money also.
Yeah.
So there's a door open that those who want to support, in any way to meet some of those challenges. But at times, yes, it's certainly been challenge.
So I know there's a lot of people that are watching right now who might want to start their own business or maybe their own prayer line. What advice do you have for them in starting something such that will make such a great impact?
Yes, my advice to someone out there who have a talent or a gift, don't dig a hole and bury it. Most people are complaining that people are not hiring them. But you know what? That's why I love America, because America is a country where if you can cook good, even if you don't have the money to own to rent a restaurant and to have a building, even if you cook on the sidewalk, because people cook on the sidewalk, especially jerk chicken, they jerk on the sidewalk, right? But whatever you do, just do it good. You will survive. Whatever you do, if you can clean good. Somebody needs somebody to clean. If you can teach good. Whatever your gift or your talent is, I would encourage you, don't sit back at home just watching the TV and everybody telling you, stay right there, don't move, we will be right back. You need to get up, go outside, find something to do with your hands, and you will survive. And that is going to help you and help the community and help the city and help the country, because everybody out there doing something. Yeah.
So how did you achieve some of your long-term and short-term goals with the White House prayer?
Well, the White House prayer, we basically runs it on volunteer. There are times when we want to get things done, and certainly without the finance again, we have made serious challenges, because we pray by faith, we preach by faith, but there are things that we have to pay by cash. Some things we have to pay by cash. And those are some of the challenges that we really face, during the period of the time. Those are some of the ups and the downs that we face. But we have come 19 years mostly through volunteer and community services.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you speak to me a little bit about which presidential election term do you feel like you had the most success? Because there was President Bush, and then there was Clinton, there was Obama. So which one do you feel like you had the most success in?
Well, when we started in Bill Clinton time, people did come out. Then we have people come out through President Bush. But when President Obama won, the number grows.
To volunteer.
Yes, there was a big, increase in the number. And now President Donald Trump win now. Now we are facing like,